They say a man dies twice. Once when his heart stops, and again when he stops feeling like a man. And that second death? It's quieter, more private, but every bit as painful. You feel it when your body doesn't respond like it used to. When what used to be automatic now feels like effort. When your manhood starts to feel disconnected. And I don't mean emotionally, I mean physically. That strange pressure, that stiffness that doesn't stick around, that dull tightening deep in the groin. It's not just random. It's not aging playing tricks. It's your body whispering, hey, something's wrong down here. And most men ignore that whisper until it becomes a shout. You see, the truth isn't that you're just getting older. The truth is that your blood vessels are under siege. They're narrowing, stiffening, failing to do their job. And when that happens, it doesn't just kill your sex life. It slowly drains your energy, your confidence, your presence. But the good news? You can do something about it. Without prescriptions, without injections, without embarrassing appointments. I'm Dr. Laura. I've worked with thousands of men over 3 decades. And what I've seen is that you can revive your circulation, your energy, and yes, your erections, naturally. No tricks, no side effects, just a little science, a little consistency, and a little faith in your body's ability to heal. The first step? Stop blaming your age. Age is just time. Time doesn't break your blood vessels. Neglect does. And most of the time, the answer isn't found in some pharmacy aisle. It's in your fridge, right now, waiting. That's right. There are foods, ordinary, everyday foods, that can breathe life back into your manhood. They work by opening up your vessels, relaxing your tissues, and feeding the very system responsible for your erections. I've seen it happen. I've watched men go from defeated to powerful just by changing what they put on their plate. You want proof? Let's start with one of the most unlikely heroes in your kitchen. A root so simple, most people overlook it. But in the right context, it's like giving your circulation a tune-up. This little red miracle is loaded with natural nitrates, compounds that your body turns into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is your secret weapon. It's what tells your blood vessels, hey, open up, relax, let it flow. When you were younger, your body made nitric oxide easily. But after 60, your production slows. That's why you start feeling off. Not sick, just off. Arousal becomes sluggish. Things don't work on demand anymore. And those morning moments, they get fewer and farther between. That's where this root comes in. I'm talking about beets, not pills, not powders, just plain, earthy, humble beets, the kind you can juice, roast, toss into a salad. Doesn't matter. What matters is what they do once they're inside you. I had a patient, 66, divorced, thought his best years were behind him, started drinking a small glass of beet juice every morning. Within 10 days, he said, I don't know what's happening, but I'm waking up hard again. He wasn't taking testosterone. He wasn't hitting the gym like a 20-year-old. He was just giving his blood vessels the signal to relax. That's what this is about. You don't need to fight your body. You need to support it. Let it breathe again. Let it stretch. Let it flow. Beets are just the beginning. I've got more for you. Stay with me. You know what caught me off guard? A fruit I thought was just for summer picnics. Something sweet, juicy, and innocent. Turns out, it's one of nature's most overlooked secrets for circulation, arousal, and that powerful feeling of I'm still alive down there. I'm talking about watermelon, but not just the red part everyone loves. The real magic is in the white rind, the part most people toss in the trash without a second thought. That's where citrulline lives. And citrulline, it's a natural vasodilator. That's a fancy word for saying it helps your blood vessels open up. Not pushy like a pill, not artificial like an injection. Just gentle, natural flow. See, when blood can't move freely, when those little vessels in your groin area tighten or spasm, it doesn't always feel like pain. Sometimes it's more subtle, a tightness, A vague pressure. That odd feeling you can't quite explain, but you know it wasn't there before. And during arousal, that's the kiss of death. Citrulline works like a smooth operator. It calms those little vessels, coaxes them open, gives them the space they need to do their job. And when they do, you feel it, not just in your pants, but in your pulse, your energy, your confidence. One of my patients, late 60s, told me he started blending watermelon smoothies every morning, red and white parts together. He wasn't expecting miracles. He just figured, why not? 2 weeks later, he called me with a grin I could hear through the phone. He said, "Doc, I'm waking up like I'm 30 again. And that weird groin tightness? Gone. Just gone. No prescriptions, no procedures, just fruit." That's the power of feeding your body instead of forcing it. You don't have to be a nutritionist. You don't have to spend hours researching amino acids or memorize complicated plans. You just need to eat in a way that honors your body's natural design. And your body was designed to respond to real nourishment, not fake fixes. That's why watermelon, especially the white part, is something I tell every man over 60 to take seriously. It doesn't just hydrate you. It doesn't just cool you off. It repairs. It rebuilds. It opens you up. And when you combine that with Beets, you've already got a tag team working in your favor. One gets the blood moving, the other clears the way. But we're not done yet. There's one more little thing, tiny actually, that most men don't even know they need. It's not sweet. It's not colorful. But it's loaded with the very nutrients your manhood has been starving for. We're about to talk about seeds, but not just any seed, a forgotten little powerhouse that could be the missing piece in your circulation puzzle. This isn't about making huge life changes. This is about consistent, simple steps. And the next one is smaller than a penny, but powerful enough to change how your body works from the inside out. Let's keep going. It's funny how something so small can carry so much power. Most guys overlook it. They scoop it out, toss it aside, never give it a second glance. But these tiny things, they're packed with exactly what your blood flow, your energy, and yes, your erections have been begging for. Pumpkin seeds. You probably didn't expect that one, but hear me out. Pumpkin seeds aren't just a snack. They're a cocktail of man fuel. And they hit 3 major points that matter when it comes to performing, not just in bed, but in life. First up, magnesium. This mineral relaxes blood vessels. It keeps them from seizing up or cramping, especially those delicate, narrow ones that supply your most private parts. Ever feel that low, dull pressure in your groin when you're turned on? Not quite painful, just tight? That's a circulation spasm. Magnesium helps prevent that. Second, zinc. Without zinc, your testosterone levels suffer. Plain and simple. And when your T levels drop, so does your libido, your drive, your ability to respond, your confidence. Zinc helps keep those levels steady, even when life and time try to drag them down. Third, arginine. This little amino acid gets converted into, you guessed it, nitric oxide. And if you've been paying attention, you already know nitric oxide is what relaxes those blood vessels, opens the floodgates, and gives you those strong, satisfying, spontaneous erections. One of my clients, 72, sharp as a tack, retired military, came to me frustrated. Not because he had no interest in sex. He had plenty. But something was blocking it physically. That persistent tightness. That feeling that no matter how turned on he was, something wasn't firing right. No pain, just that pressure again. That resistance. I told him, start with a handful of pumpkin seeds. Nothing fancy, just raw, unsalted, straight from the bag. 1 tablespoon a day. He looked at me like I'd just recommended a superstition. But he trusted me. 3 weeks later, he came back with a look of disbelief and a quiet confidence in his eyes. I feel like me again, he said. My mornings are back. That tightness is gone, and I don't feel like I have to force anything. That's the thing most guys don't realize. Your body wants to work. It remembers how to be strong, how to perform. It just needs the right materials, like a building with good bones. It doesn't need to be torn down, just reinforced. Pumpkin seeds are the reinforcements. Toss them in your smoothie, eat them straight, add them to oatmeal. However you get them in, just do it daily. They don't hit you like a freight train. They don't need to. Their power comes from consistency, quietly building, steadily nourishing. Now here's the best part. When you take beets, watermelon, and pumpkin seeds, and you bring them together in your day, in your routine, something special happens. They don't just work. They work together. They build on each other. One opens the door. The next keeps it open. The last one strengthens the whole house. Your body wasn't designed to rely on a single magic bullet. It was designed to thrive when multiple systems support one another. That's where this gets good. You've now got 3 tools in your corner. And next, I'm going to show you how to make them part of your life. Easily, naturally, and without overthinking it. Because knowing what helps is only half the battle. Let's turn this knowledge into momentum. Let's be honest. Most guys don't need another list of superfoods they'll never use. What they need is something real, something simple, something they can actually stick to. So let's keep it that way. You've got 3 tools now: beets, watermelon, and pumpkin seeds. But this isn't just about eating them randomly and hoping for the best. This is about rhythm. A consistent rhythm that supports your body day after day. Because when these foods are combined in the right way, something incredible happens. They don't just improve blood flow, they compound it. One unlocks the vessels, another smooths the pathway, the last one strengthens the system. It's not hype, it's synergy. It's like rebuilding a house. You don't just replace one part and call it done. You work on the foundation, the framework, and the finish. That's how you make something strong. And that's exactly what you're doing here. But from the inside out. Let me walk you through what this might look like in real life. No guesswork, no complicated recipes. Just a normal day with small choices that build into big change. Start your morning with beet juice. Not much, just a small glass, straight or mixed with a little apple juice if the taste is too strong. Drink it on an empty stomach. That's when your body absorbs it best. This gives your nitric oxide levels a boost right out of the gate. It gets things moving. It tells your blood vessels, time to stretch, time to relax, time to flow. A couple hours later, blend up a watermelon smoothie. Keep the red flesh in there, of course. But don't throw out the rind. That's where most of the citrulline lives. Chop it, blend it, drink it. Add a little mint or lime if you want to get fancy, or keep it plain and simple. Either way, your blood vessels will thank you. Mid-afternoon, grab a handful of raw pumpkin seeds. Not roasted in oil, not coated in salt, just natural. 1 tablespoon is all you need. Chew them slowly. Let your body soak in the magnesium, zinc, and arginine it's been missing. That's it. 3 small steps. And yet, this is how change begins. I've seen men feel a difference in just 7 days. Not a total transformation, but something real. A shift, a flicker, morning wood showing up again, that nagging groin tightness fading, a sense of power returning, not because of a pill, but because of a decision. And you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Show up for your health every day, even in small ways. You're not aiming for overnight miracles. You're building a rhythm that restores you piece by piece. Here's the real secret. Most of the time, your body doesn't need more. It just needs better. Better choices, better habits, better support. Because when you give it the right tools, your body remembers. It remembers how to respond, how to rise, how to feel like a man again. So if you've been thinking, is this really all it takes? The answer is yes. When done consistently, these small actions create a big difference. But too many men stop here. They do it for a few days, maybe a week, and then life gets busy, or they get discouraged, and they let it go. That's the trap. That's what keeps most men stuck. The ones who break through. They're not superhuman. They're not perfect. They're just consistent. They decide once, and then they do it again, and again, and again, until one day their body thanks them in the best possible way. You're closer to that day than you think. There's one mistake I see men over 60 make more than any other. It's not laziness. It's not ignorance. It's this: thinking the solution comes in the shape of a pill. I get it. When your body stops performing the way it used to, and frustration creeps in, it's tempting to go for the quick fix. A tablet promises instant results. Just pop it, wait 30 minutes, and like magic, you're back in the game. But let's look deeper. What do those pills actually do? They force blood into a system that's already struggling. They don't heal anything. They don't open up hardened arteries. They don't restore nitric oxide. They just bypass the problem. And in doing so, they let it get worse. And the side effects? Headaches, nausea, pressure in your chest. And over time, they stop working. Your body builds a tolerance. The effect wears off. The spark fades again. And now you're back where you started. But this time, you're dependent. I've seen the look in a man's eyes when that happens. The disappointment, the shame, the feeling that maybe this is just the new normal, that maybe he really is too far gone. But here's what I always tell them. You are not broken. You are not finished. Your body isn't dead. It's just waiting for you to feed it. Erections aren't created in a lab. They're built by blood flow, by vascular health, by hormones and cellular support. They come from the inside. And when you start focusing on nourishment instead of quick fixes, something powerful happens. Your body starts working with you instead of against you. That's why this approach isn't about flashy claims. It's about biology. It's about giving your system the fuel it needs to perform, not just once, but again and again, naturally. And here's the real game changer: the men who truly reclaim their confidence. They don't wait for rock bottom. They don't wait for total dysfunction. They recognize the signs early: that groin pressure, the inconsistent firmness, the drop in morning arousal, and they act, not out of panic, but out of respect. They respect their bodies enough to invest in it, to nourish it, to restore what time and stress have worn down. It's not weakness to care, it's strength. And the men who take this route, they don't just get their erections back. They get their edge back. They walk taller. They speak differently. They reconnect with their partners, with their sense of self, with that quiet power they thought they lost. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about stepping into a version of yourself that's still alive, still capable, still strong. You don't need miracles. You need momentum. And that comes from daily action, not desperate reaction. So if you've ever felt like the best days are behind you, I'm here to remind you, they're not. Your body still knows how to rise. It just needs your permission to start again. And the best part? You already have the tools, the foods, the plan. All you need now is to say yes, and keep saying yes every day until you feel the difference. It's coming. Let's keep it practical now, because theory is great, but it's action that creates results. And I want this to be easy for you. No complicated charts, no fancy recipes, no measuring spoons or meal plans that take over your life. This is real, simple, a rhythm you can actually stick to. Let me walk you through what the next 7 days can look like. A small commitment with a potentially huge reward. Start your day with beet juice, just a small glass, nothing over the top. First thing in the morning, before food. It wakes up your circulation. It gives your blood vessels that first breath of air. A reminder to open up, stretch out, and do what they were made to do. By mid-morning, grab your blender. Drop in a few chunks of watermelon, red and white parts both. That rind, as you now know, is loaded with citrulline. Add a few ice cubes, maybe a slice of lime. Blend it up and drink. It's refreshing, hydrating, and it gives those tiny blood vessels in your groin the signal to relax. Sometime in the afternoon, between lunch and dinner, reach for pumpkin seeds. 1 tablespoon, raw and unsalted. You don't have to love them. You just have to chew. These seeds are working behind the scenes, feeding your testosterone, rebuilding nitric oxide, making your blood vessels more flexible and your tissue more responsive. This isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. You can miss a day. You can forget a smoothie. Life happens. But what matters is your return. Every time you choose to come back to this rhythm, you're telling your body, I'm here. I care. Let's get back to work. And here's something else I want you to consider. Movement. You don't need a gym. You don't need to bench press a car, but you do need to move. Walk. Stretch. Let your body feel the blood flowing. Let your joints rotate. Let your muscles remember that they exist. Because the same blood vessels that feed your manhood also feed your legs, your heart, your brain. It's all connected. Circulation is a full-body event, and when you support it from all angles, you give yourself the best possible chance at real, lasting improvement. Drink more water. Breathe deeper. Get outside, even for 5 minutes. Feel the air. Feel your feet on the ground. These aren't just lifestyle tips. They're reminders that you're still here, still in the game. And don't forget why you're doing this. It's not just about sex. It's about reclaiming ownership of your body. It's about choosing strength over surrender, pride over passivity. Every man deserves to feel like himself again, not just once in a while, but every day, confident, capable, connected. So take this 7-day plan seriously, not like a challenge, but like a gift to yourself, because that's what it is, a gift your future self will thank you for. A commitment that doesn't demand perfection, just attention. A promise that says, I'm not done yet. And you're not by a long shot. Before we wrap this up, I want to speak to you, not just as a doctor, but as someone who's spent decades listening to men, learning their stories, and watching transformation happen right before my eyes. If you've made it this far, you're not like most people. Most tune out. They click away. They give up. But not you. You stayed. You listened. And whether you realize it or not, that already says something about the man you are. You care. And that matters. I need you to know something, especially if you're in your 60s, 70s, even your 80s. You are not finished. You are not broken. And you are not beyond repair. Somewhere along the way, society started whispering that aging means disappearing, that once you slow down physically, you fade emotionally, sexually, spiritually, but they're wrong. You don't lose your value with time. You just forget how to use your power. And now, you're remembering. This isn't just about erections, or blood flow, or food. This is about taking back the part of yourself that the world told you to bury. It's about saying, I still matter. My needs, my body, my vitality, it all still matters. You've been through things. Life has weathered you. You've been strong for others, pushed through stress, worked through fatigue, ignored your own pain more times than anyone will ever know. But now it's time to be strong for yourself. Because you're not just doing this for better sex or stronger mornings. You're doing it for your sense of self, for the quiet dignity that comes from knowing your body is responding again, that it still has strength, that it still has life. And I've seen it. I've seen men who thought their best days were gone, men who hadn't felt morning wood in years, stand tall again, not because they took a pill, but because they took action. Simple, daily, consistent action. They fed their blood. They moved their bodies. They honored their biology. And it paid off. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need to remember that your body is still listening, still waiting for you to give it what it needs. And when you do, it responds. So here's my final message to you. Don't walk away from this thinking it was just another video or another idea that sounded good in theory. Walk away with resolve, with fire, with the belief that what you do next, starting today, can change everything. Your best chapter isn't behind you, it's right in front of you. And all you need to do now is step into it. Go reclaim your strength. You've got this.